Hello. I've been working on my Mercedes for about 3 days straight now. The problem I had with it is I made a discovery of abrasive in the engine oil, and I reported it to State Farm Insurance, and they told me not to touch the car. And well, this was 4 months ago, so I've been working on it, trying to get all this stuff cleaned out. I'm very upset that I've had to pay for this out of pocket. I've got it going. I did 3 oil changes on it. The third engine flush, it still had abrasive in the engine oil, but it wasn't nearly as concentrated as it was initially. It's very fine. The laboratory identified high levels of 4 microns, 6 microns, 14 microns, and larger microns was held out by the filter. The filter's rated at 17 microns according to the information I received from Wix. And I went ahead and I serviced the transmission as well, because the lab report said it was in bad condition, and my other vehicles I had sand poured in the transmission as well. And I've done a power steering flush, and I've been changing out the brake fluid, trying to undo all the sabotage that had occurred to this early in March of this year. The oil was poured in this engine in March, and it was started up, and it never did run right. It was a guaranteed engine, and usually when I put one of them in, you just crank it up, and then within 30 minutes it's ready to hit the street. Not in this case. It wouldn't rev up. I made a discovery that there's something wrong with the fuel. I'm going to add in a little video clip where I converted the engine to run on straight vegetable oil. And within about 30 seconds of connecting the straight vegetable oil to the engine and starting it, it began to quiet down and smooth out. Before it was really rough and rattling, and it wasn't revving up right either. So I've got the opinion that the fuel problem is causing engine performance problems. And there's a past history of people pouring pine sol in my fuel tank, and I'm a little bit concerned that this may have happened, and that would explain why it's not running right. The pine sol makes it have extreme heat and smoke, and the power output is very low. I believe that when I put the vegetable oil on there, that the grease got up in the valves and freed it up a little bit, because it started to run better. I'm going to go to the next clip, and you can listen to the engine run.
It's a Mercedes 603 diesel, and I've got it running on vegetable oil right now. You see the container, the return line splashing in the top. And as soon as I converted it over to vegetable oil, the engine quieted it down. I'm not so sure that the fuel in the tank is any good. I'm just trying to clean up this engine before I title it. Seems to run very well on cooking oil. This is what I got for you today.
Alright, I'm back. You've heard the engine run. It sounds okay, but when you drive it down the road, it's another story. It takes full throttle to get it to move, and at half speed it will barely pull itself. And I've spoken to State Farm about having the pine sol added to the engine oil. The discovery of it in the fuel was never mentioned. However, I have the opinion that the pine sol is down in the valves, and the valves are sticky. And that explains low compression and why it won't have any type of performance until the turbo spools up. Then State Farm doesn't want to accept the fact that I have experience with diesel engines and currently A9 certified. And this has been an ongoing problem with them. They want me to take it to an independent garage and get a second opinion. The only problem is I've called every garage in town, and the only one that works on diesel engines here don't want nothing to do with it. All they work on is domestic engines and pickups. Zusu Duramax, Cummins B, International Harvester, and Caterpillar used in Ford engines. Ford trucks. That's all they work on. They don't know how to work on anything European. So I've got the dilemma of where do I get it worked on at to get a second opinion. So far I've been unsuccessful in finding a garage that's willing to work on it. Everyone I've spoken to says, well, we just don't know anything about diesels. It's common sense. If the valves stick, it won't run. The clearances between the valve stem and the valve guide is very small. And all it takes is a few drops of soap down in there and the valve will not close. It will drag. And the hotter it gets, the better it is. In damp weather, it won't hardly run at all. And I've actually heard this engine misfire. I started it up the other day when it was raining and it wouldn't hardly run. And after I put this cooking oil on there, it seemed to work a little better. I believe that grease got up in the valves and helped free it up. But I still have the same problem. This engine's never going to run right since it was vandalized, and State Farm don't want to accept the fact that it was damaged. And I did have full coverage on it at the time this happened. There's no excuse for me having to pay for all the repairs out of pocket when I did have insurance. It's like a car wreck. You take your car to the garage, they fix it, you get it back. Not in this case. They want me to pay for everything up front. I've got a letter from them stating that they won't pay for anything up front. And it's just to the point where I'm ready to put the car on a truck and ship it to their office and unload it in care of the claims adjuster. I'm sick and tired of dealing with them people. And they're just a bunch of bloodsuckers that crunch numbers. In the past week, I've spent nearly $300 in maintenance costs just to get this car to run. And that's $300 that I shouldn't be spending on it. I purchased a new engine for it. I put the engine in. I filled it up with fluids. And within 30 minutes of starting it up, it wouldn't run. And that's when I discovered the abrasives in the engine oil. And I did a simple emulsion test on the engine oil and determined that there was an emulsifier added to it. My guess would be some kind of common soap, household cleaner. And that's what's causing all the problems. The oil won't cling because of the soap. And even when I drain oil out of this thing, all I gotta do is add water to it and it just about washes the oil away. But I'm sick and tired of dealing with State Farm. All they are is a bunch of crooks. I actually wish I would have chosen a different insurance company. But I had 3 vehicles with full coverage, and every one of them was messed up. And I've received not a penny from State Farm in conjunction with the claims on sabotage. It all occurred the first week of April 2012. right now it's about the 10th of September. Not a dime from them. All I get is a bunch of mail, a bunch of letters. The last letter I received says that it was hiring an attorney for some reason, and then the phone started ringing from State Farm. I don't quite get that, but I'm pretty much done with State Farm. Thanks for your time.